Newsmax is America's most important news broadcast. As you all know, it's one of the last truth teller places on the internet. Now, I say this, but it hurts my soul that Newsmax is now gone. Communist China, baby. This is just like 1987 George Orwell. Okay, this is George Orwell, Animal Crossing, all of it. Now, I want to issue, I don't normally do this, but I got to issue you a trigger warning, ladies and gentlemen. A trigger warning, because what you're about to see will put a f***ing tear in any goddamn America lover's eye. Our last bastion of hope and freedom of speech. Freedom of speech. Freedom of speech. I can't even talk right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so mad.
Mike, thank you so much for joining us, and welcome. So what happened? What happened with your Twitter account and the company page?
Well, first mine was taken down because we have all the election fraud with these Dominion machines. We have 100% proof. And then when they took it down about 3 weeks ago, and then when I put it back up, my personal, it was a
Mike, thank you very much. Mike, you're talking about machines that we at Newsmax have not been able to verify any of those.
No, Mike, they say, what the hell's going on? Why are they stopping him? Are they stopping him because he's too much of a goddamn patriot? He's talking about the truths that nobody wants to hear about how Dominion voting machine software is tweaking and Hugo Chavez is responsible for Donald Trump getting the election stolen from him. And Newsmax is, wait a minute, Newsmax has been talking about that nonstop. Why are they trying to silence the truth? Oh no, I need a safe space.
We just want to let people know that there's nothing substantive that we've seen. And let me read you something there. While there were...
Well, it seems like he's got a speech right in front of his face, folks. What the fuck is going on? What is he reading? I don't even know how to read. Real conservatives don't know how to read, brother. What the hell? What is he reading over there? What? Oh God. As in, they knew that if they had MyPillow, Mr. Pillow on, that they were going to have this moment and they were going to have to inevitably read out a legal statement that was placed in front of the newscaster.
Some clear evidence of some cases of vote fraud and election irregularities. The election results in every state were certified, and Newsmax accepts the results as legal and final. The courts have also supported that view. So we wanted to talk to you about...
So he's just like, dude, shut the fuck up, dude. Stick to what you want, okay? Stick to why we brought you here. Like, we don't want you to talk about Dominion and shit. We're gonna get sued again. And we don't want it. We already have the cease and desist. Because listen, here's how it goes. In America, it is very difficult to sue someone for libel, slander, what have you. America's freedom of speech laws are pretty much ironclad for the most part, unless you're like, you know, a Black Panther or something, or a communist during the McCarthy trials. Outside of that, it's pretty ironclad, and it's not like the UK, for example, where you can sue someone for slander. It's you have to establish malicious intent, right? So what companies will do is send out a cease and desist and say, this information is incorrect. You have to stop covering this, and you have to put forward a retractive statement saying that you did not know, but the information that you put out there was false, right? Once they responded to that cease and desist, and Newsmax did do that. They did respond to that cease and desist and actually put out a statement saying this information was incorrect and we are continuing with our coverage. Sorry for the incorrect information, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Once they did that, now you have already established that going forward, if you willingly continue to contribute to that misinformation, that's it. That's it. You can get cleaned out completely. That is a clear, open and shut, no freedom of speech protection there, no slander, libel protection there, absolute open and shut case of deliberate slander, right? So now that they've already apologized for it and responded to the cease and desist, they have to be extra careful. And that's precisely why they have this notepad in front of them, okay?
We don't want to relitigate the allegations that you're making, Mike, because we understand where you are. So let me ask you this. Do you think that this should be temporary because it appears to be permanent? Could you make an argument that it is temporary?
What?
Could you make an argument that this could be a temporary banning rather than...
I don't... What?
Could you make an argument that it is temporary?
What?
Could you make an argument?
Even she laughed, dude. It's so bad. It's so good.
No, I want it to be a permanent because you know what? They did this because I'm revealing all the evidence on Friday of all the election fraud with these machines. So I'm sorry if you think it's not
Mike,
it's real.
Can I ask our producers, can we get out of here, please? I don't want to have to keep going over this.
Actually,
we at Newsmax have not been able to verify any of those allegations that you're
Mike, hold on a second.
Newsmax, more like Newsmarks.
Hold on a second. Mike, hold on 1 second. Let's talk a little.
And then he gets up and leaves, dude. He did a self-cancel. He's like, fuck this. I'm out. No need to get owned by a lawsuit. I'm dipping. There's literally no use. There's no reason. This is so fucking dumb. I'm not going to be a part of this. And that's where we're at with conservative broadcasting. Apparently, conservatives are upset at Newsmax now because they are no longer reporting the truth. And of course, if you are a conservative, the truth is what you want to hear. You want to be babied endlessly. You want to be put in a little crib and sung rockabye baby lullabies to. That's what you want. You want that sweet, delicious copium that you are hooked on. And no longer can you get that from Newsmax, at least just on this issue. You can still go to any conservative outlet, whether it's mainstream or not, and hear a number of different, a litany of different psychotic opinions, racial agitprop, and all of that is commonplace in most of these broadcasts, right? But this is one area, as a consequence of the many lawsuits and cease and desist that Dominion has sent forward. This is one area where they can no longer lie. Of course, they did it for months, and it doesn't matter. The damage is already done. People totally got on board with this nonsense and even stormed the halls of Congress. Now they are no longer doing that.
Minority Leader McCarthy was there, Chairman Brady, that's several of us. And to hear the heart-wrenching stories of these pipeline companies that have to tell thousands of their employees they're now laid off because of executive orders by this new president. It is unbelievable what we're seeing. And the quote by Bernie Sanders.
Incredible. These guys, man, they are not doing all right. They are. How is this a news channel? The beautiful part about it is that Newsmax, as long as it exists, is proving a point, which is that it don't really take much to be a conservative news network that is relatively popular. All you literally need to do is just say things that they want to fucking hear, that conservatives want to hear, okay? You don't have to make an argument. You don't have to advocate for a certain position beyond like what the regular conservative argument and talking points are. As long as you take it one step further, as long as you push whatever is on Fox News +1, you're good. You will hold on to a captive audience. Newsmax host yesterday, who we saw yesterday and today, who stormed out of the interview with MyPillow, owner of MyPillow, said, there is no question I could have handled the end of the interview differently, adding, Lindell will continue to be an important guest on Newsmax.
You may have seen something out of the ordinary happen during an interview with Mike Lindell, the CEO of MyPillow. Mike is a friend of this network, and we were supposed to discuss Twitter's decision to ban him and the impacts of cancel culture on his business. But there was some confusion, and Mike thought that we were to talk about vote fraud in the recent election. It's a topic we have covered extensively on Newsmax. I was frustrated that we couldn't focus on the current, very pressing issue of free speech and cancel culture, and in hindsight, there is no question that I could have handled the end of the interview differently. At Newsmax, we seek out all points of view. Mike was back on Newsmax last night with Rob Schmidt on his show to continue the conversation about cancel culture and the censorship by social media.
But you canceled yourself, Sweaty. Do you think Mike Lindell is going to start doing crack again, or has it already happened? Bro, he has something better than crack, okay? And that's called Republican God. It's like, I said this before, but I mean, I joked about this before, but like, Mike Lindell might be the only person who's gotten worse after beating a crack addiction.